So it's just about understanding what you want and what you think are best for your kids and then making that happen. Not everyone can do that though.
But what you do is you do it by yourself.
Yeah, I'm lucky. It might have taken me a long time to get there, but I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it, but I have sacrificed everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Parent Playbook. The Parent Playbook.
Hey everyone, we are back and it is the Parent Playbook by Trybe. I'm your host, Naya, and today we're going to be talking everything entrepreneurship, but also with a splash of authentic parenting. I'm joined by somebody listen, this man inspires me on a daily and probably doesn't even know it. I'm going to let him introduce himself. If we had a live studio audience, this is where everyone would go, woo, 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 woo. I'm joined by the one and only Freddy Craze.
Hi everybody. How are you? All good?
Yeah, I think you're the first person that's asked me how I am today. I'm actually fantastic. More fantastic for seeing you today.
Brilliant.
I'm really excited to sit down and talk about your journey.
Thanks for having me.
Listen,
So important, pleasure.
Thanks for making the trek all the way down here. I know what you're like.
I know, into the big bad city of London.
Big bad city. So, who is Freddy Craze?
Oh, who is Freddy Craze? I think first of all, Freddy Craze is Lenny's dad. Second of all, Freddy Craze is a businessman. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I am a son, a brother, a boyfriend, all rolled into one.
All rolled into one, and a fucking great friend. Can I just say that as well?
Thank you very much.
I remember the first day I met you. Do you remember the first day I met you?
The first day I met you is when I came down to your office.
Bond Street.
When you, at your mum's office, right? And it was you and Daniela.
Yep.
And walked in down the end of the corridor, last door on the left, if I believe, opened the door and bang, this energy.
Listen, I think...
Long time ago.
It was a very long time ago. So yeah, many moon ago, I used to do t-shirt printing, vinyl printing, and we was at the end of our days, and I was looking for someone to take on our clients. I didn't want to leave my guys high and dry. And I think you was the fourth person that I'd actually gone to see.
That.
Yeah, I shopped around. He was the fourth person, Simon, Mr. Snappy.
Yeah, he linked us up.
He linked us up. He said, you know what?
Big up Simon.
Big up Simon.
Big
he
up
said,
Simon.
Speak to Fred. I feel like he could be a guy. And the rest is history. The rest is history. I remember when I came down to one of your first places, I don't know if it was your first, but the first place I came to, and I see Lenny's car.
Yeah, that was one of the first places.
And I was like, nah, this is my kind of guy. Because I think at that time I just got Kizzy a pink Range Rover. And it was just, I don't know, there was just synergy.
Did you bring Kizzy down the first time?
I brought her, yeah. I've got a video of her. You let her press the button. And yeah, you saw me in all my glory, man. My full parenting, the full parenting role. But yeah, I feel like that was really something that stuck out to me. Like your son was a part of the business.
100%.
He wasn't alienated from it. You didn't care that his toys were around.
No.
And I felt that because I feel like a lot of times in business, parents want to keep their kids separate for the professionalism. And I don't think it makes sense.
It's difficult. I'm quite lucky. I work for myself, right? So I make my own rules in that sense.
Yes, you do.
Where someone that works a corporate job, you know, has to keep a professional outlook on what they're doing and also worry about what customers are looking at them. If there's toys hanging about and all of that, it might put people off.
Yeah.
But also, on the other side of it, Lenny is my number one.
Yeah.
Forget about the business. Lenny comes number one. Lenny is my 7-year-old boy, only child at the moment, looking to have more, of course. But
Get in!
I will say this, I was 25 when I had Lenny, and I was new to the business. I was a new dad, and to be honest, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And Lenny really gave me the kick up the backside to focus, plan out, and actually execute all of these ideas that I had in my head.
Yeah.
Because we all can lay in bed at night and have amazing epiphanies of what's going on. It's actually taking that from inside, making it happen. That's the scary part.
It's the rollout.
You know, but that's the fun part as well. The journey is the fun part, not the end goal.
100 million%.
Because you get to the end goal and you're like,
what's next?
The point? or what's the point?
Next,
you know? It rolls onto something else. But Lenny gave me the inspiration to be a better man, a better person in business, but most importantly, a better father.
Yeah.
You know? Fun fact, before I held Lenny, I'd never held a baby.
In your life?
In my life. never held a baby.
Your first?
I was always, a little bit.
It's okay.
Typical
They look like they're going to break as well. Yeah.
Typical old school man. But then I remember I've come home the night my son's mother has given birth. 3:31 we got home. And I sat up until the light came up in the sun, in the sky, and I held my son in my arm here. I remember he was tiny, and I told him everything that was going to happen. But not only did I tell him what I was going to do, what he was going to do as well. So it was a very worrying time. I'm not gonna,
It's been nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Shaky bum time, right?
Yeah.
But amazing.
Yeah.
Best thing that happened to me was my son.
I feel like when you don't have children, there's a version of life that you live, and you have aspiration, and even if you're career driven and you're doing all the things, it's amazing. And then you have a child and something shifts. Yeah. And I think that you can't explain to anybody. You can't really put that into words, because it either just happens or you just don't ever get to experience it.
You've hit the nail on the head with that one. Definitely. Parenting is different for everyone.
And each child is different.
Each child is different. Each needs, I'm very lucky where Lenny was a great baby. Got his routine done. My mum always told me, get the routine down quickly. Yeah. And then you'll be all right. So I was lucky that Lenny slept all the way through the night.
Sick.
From 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. Right?
He's 12 hours
I used to have to wake him up. Right? And he drank when he needed to. He never really cried, but it was routine to the minute. If we were going out for dinner, we needed to be back by 6:30, have his bath, in bed, ready to go. Stick to the routine. But not only the routine for the baby, the routine for the parent.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really important. Now, if you've had a bit of a wild lifestyle in a younger years, like some of us have, sometimes it can be difficult to get that routine down. It might take a couple of months. Once you've got it, it becomes part of your life.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head with the routine. I think kids want to trust what's happening, and I think without routine, they just don't know what to trust because they don't know what's coming. But if they know what's coming, then it's just an easier
Definitely.
ride.
And you can plan around it as well.
And you can plan around it.
But also you need to make sure that the grandparents have got the routine down as well. And, and any other
And they always get it wrong.
Of course.
Just do their own thing. Well, my child's grandparents, they definitely do their own thing.
It's very difficult.
I'm like,
right?
what? Is she still, what? She's awake? No. But
that was the norm. That was the norm. Growing up where we grew up in Northwest, it's different to as it is now, But I'm very glad that the stuff that I learnt from my mum is still relevant today. Yeah. It's just done in a different way. Yeah. My dad ain't got a clue.
So would you say your dad's like a generic, like a stereotypical, do you know what I mean? Like, because your dad's colossal, yeah?
Yes.
Your dad is a very colossal man.
Yes.
But do you think he's like a man's man? Like, when I say man's man, it's very...
He's a man's man.
Like mum takes care of everything. And...
Let me put it like this. My dad was not a daddy to me at a young age. Yeah. He then became a father as I got older. It's very, very difficult. But my mum, I was very lucky where I had the old school family sort of layout where my dad went out, worked, done all the graft, and my mum brought us up. Yeah. Right? Now, for me, that was great. My relationship with my mum is sensational. The love between a son and a mum, it's like nothing I've ever seen. And when I see maybe the relationship with my mum and the sisters, it's very, very different. But then I see the relationship with my sisters and my dad.
Okay, and it's very different.
So, it's daddy's girl and mummy's boy. Right? So I was very, very lucky where I'm the only boy. Okay. So I got all the attention from my mum and I lapped that up. Okay. And the stuff that she taught me, I've used every aspect of my life. And then there's things that I've learnt from my dad which maybe I haven't then taken into my life. Yeah. So you kind of take the good and the bad and you pick what works for you. But we have to remember, they're coming from the 80s and 90s. Mm-hmm. We're now in 2026. A lot has changed. Like information is readily available now, where before you'd have to go off what your parents did almost.
Yeah, no, it's true. Or you're just doing
They'd
what
be
you've
your
been
Google.
taught. Yeah.
You know, Mum, what do you think about this rash? What do you do?
Whereas now they're on ChatGPT. What? No,
Like that.
Mum, you got it wrong because
Like that.
ChatGPT said.
I wouldn't say that to my mum. My mum's right. No matter what, she's right. She's right. But I was very lucky where I had that old school way of upbringing and, you know, good and bad, don't get me wrong. There's pluses and minuses, but my childhood was good.
Yeah. And how would you think that is? Like, what would be the main thing that you take from your childhood that you make sure that you put into Lenny's childhood?
Oh, I was a wild child, right? Very much so. And I think after a while of being a bit too wild, I think my parents kind of let me crack on with certain things. And
Let the reins go.
Yeah,
Go on then.
at quite a young age, right? But thinking back now, right, I maybe would do things differently with my son if I was in that situation where I wouldn't let that tight grip go just yet. Because when you hit 12, 13, 14, you become very impressionable.
Yes, 100%, yeah.
And you have to be careful about what you're doing and, you know, just guilty by association.
Yeah.
You know?
So maybe like the boundaries.
Yeah, but I've moved out to a little village far out in Buckinghamshire where, you know, your biggest worry is your neighbour, you know, leaving his bike outside your house. That's the biggest worry. So it's a complete difference to where my son grew up and where I grew up. But I'm so happy I did that. Any big city now, you know, there are day-to-day fears and worries, right? When you move out of the city into the country, a lot of those fears naturally go away. But then there's other fears as well. So it's just about understanding what you want and what you think are best for your kids and then making that happen. Not everyone can do that though.
Yeah, and also I think like the moving out, like I know quite a few people that have moved out, and I think that it definitely depends on the dynamic and the type of your family. Because for me to move somewhere rural like that, it could have a positive effect, but then culturally wise, for my daughter, because she's black, it could be different. So I think you have to really navigate what works best for you, you know?
I will, do you know what, I agree with you. The further you move out, the less
cultural.
Yes. You know, and people, sadly, even today, people have preconceived ideas.
Absolutely, yeah.
When I turn up, right, I'm covered in tattoos, and me and all my pals all turned up. We've got the music blaring, you can hear us speaking, you know, and I could see that my local neighbourhood watch was a bit like, oh no,
gosh,
yeah. You know? But then when they get to know you,
defined.
It's cool, you know. As you get older, I think you appreciate that slower pace of life and the more safe. But you have to, when you're young, you have to put down the foundations for that to make sure that you're not cutting off your nose by moving out of the area, because I'm very lucky where I run my business from my phone.
Yeah.
So I can be anywhere in the world.
When it's happening.
Everything's still going on.
Talk to us about the business, Freddie. So we haven't really got into the business. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got into the business. What is it that you actually do? What is the service that you supply that you just said you can do from anywhere in the world on your phone?
Cut long story short, I print T-shirts, right? So the main bulk of my business is concert T-shirts. So anytime you go and see someone like Beyonce, Drake, Sabrina Carpenter at a big concert and you see the merchandise, so we produce all of that. Mainly it's garments, T-shirts, hoodies, caps, beanies, tote bags. We produce all of the garments in the UK. All of the key rings and all the other accessories, they're made Far East Asia and they're brought in because it's cheaper. But because of how quick the industry moves, we need boots on the ground in the UK, especially in the South. So what we do is we usually buy a plain T-shirt from a supplier, whether that's a Gildan, a Fruit of the Loom, whatever that might be, or
a Blanks factory.
Whatever the Blanks factory, AS Colour, you know, there's loads, right? It all depends on what the customer wants. We then will go ahead and put a print or an embroidery on, or a DTF, or any sort of decoration, package it up, ready for the merchandisers to take. It sounds fantastic, but in a nutshell, we are a print shop. And we do embroidery. That's what we do.
In a nutshell, but at the same time, like the services that you offer, like the fulfillment service is a huge thing that I think a lot of people they're not even really aware of what fulfillment is.
We make it so easy for our customers. They never have to see a T-shirt.
They never have to see a T-shirt.
But for that to happen, we have to have a very close relationship because at any one time there could be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds out on the table that we haven't been paid for. So the relationship has to be very tight. We have to know the ins and outs. Plus, don't get me wrong, there's systems that we've built up over the years that we've had to trial and fail at.
Exactly.
You know, and we've now got it to a point now where we know everything in the system down to the T where it is at any one time. All works off a barcode.
The infrastructure is amazing.
When the customer receives their package on the floor, they don't realise what's gone into it. But when you buy a packet of crisps at a Tesco's, do you know what's happened?
Exactly.
It's the same sort of concept, you know. But I want to say, that was all me and all me. It wasn't. I've got to shout out my granddad first, who started the business 52 years ago.
Wow.
And was doing that before anyone else was. And I'll tell you a funny story. How it actually started was there used to be a brand called Lecoq Sportif.
I remember
back in the day. And they used to bring it in from the States. My grandfather and his brother, my great uncle, and they were bringing it in from the States in the early 70s, and they couldn't get it quick enough to what they were selling it at. So the demand outweighed the supply. So then I'm thinking, how are we going to get around this? We're going to make it ourselves. And that's how they did it. So they started bootlegging first, right?
You know what? When you're saying, I was thinking,
bootlegging
this sounds
first.
really bootlegging.
Bootlegging first, right? But this is before licenses. Right? So it was bootleg, but it wasn't copyright infringement legally, right? It's bending the rules. So then they started doing that, and they got my dad and my uncle in a print shop in Willesden, Villiers Road, downstairs in the basement printing T-shirts.
Sick.
Then a little light bulb went off. How are we going to make these machines? After we've done this, and as we know, fashion it circles, right? So this is popular, then it's the next thing. What are we going to do? We've bought all these machines, so they thought, right, let's go out and speak to people.
See what they want.
And my dad went to a concert when he was 16, and he ended up meeting his biggest customer. And from that day, they've always worked together.
Wow.
And his first big job was Live Aid.
Really?
Remember the concert? And it was 400,000 T-shirts.
Oh my God.
Now, this is back in the 80s, right? This was not 400,000 T-shirts. Never heard of. Got the job, printed the job, got paid for the job.
Oh my
God. Right? That's
another thing. I'm about to say that, No, you got to make sure you get paid.
That's the hard part. Got the money and then reinvested back into a big print shop. And then from then, he went on to do a band called Simple Minds, which was like quite a popular pop group back in the day, and it just blew up from there. And then it just snowballed. But then I left school when I was 15 and didn't know what I wanted to do because I never wanted to get into T-shirt printing. Even though I grew up in a T-shirt factory,
I always want to do something opposite to your parents.
I didn't want to. I wanted to go into the army, right, and see the world, right. And I think my mum was a bit pushy on that. Go and see the world. You can always come back. But my dad, he kind of just said, "Look, do what you want." Da, 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 da. Then I went down maybe roads I shouldn't have gone down and tried things that I shouldn't have done.
The learning curve.
It's all learning, right? It's all learning. And then at 18, I said to my dad, I need a job.
Help me.
With my tails between my legs, I need a job. And he said, right, I'm going to put you on the end of the dryer, taking T-shirts off the dryer into a bundle of 10.
Okay.
And he said, I want you to get that bundle of 10 perfect. Then once you've done that, you can go on to the next job. So I went from the dryer, £182 a week was my first pay slip, right? Wow. Which 15 years ago, it's not bad, right? So I went from the dryer, then I got to clean the squeegees with the white spirit. So I got a promotion off of that. Then I learned how to actually use the machine. Okay. But by then, I was certain that I didn't want to work in a factory, right? So I decided at 21 that I wanted to do my own thing, right? And I approached my mum and I said, Mum, I need a loan, right? I haven't got any money. Can you help me out? My mum said, whatever you need, boy, I'm going to sort that for you as long as you pay it back, right? Very important. I come from a family of we can give you whatever.
But you've got to pay your dues, man.
You can't just have it, right? Because
Yeah.
when you get given things in life, you don't appreciate
100%.
it, and you don't make it work for you. You work against it. So my mum lent me £8,000, and I bought a hand print machine. Now I'd never printed by hand before.
Hand print.
Hand print, hand screen.
Yeah,
print. Yeah. So machines, similar sort of concept, but it's all done by hand. Never hand printed before. Didn't have a clue, right? But this is when YouTube was kind of like starting to come through, right? Got onto YouTube and I learned how to just do one colour prints.
Okay.
And I cut my teeth on the industry in selling I Love London t-shirts, right? Tourist t-shirts, right? Such a small margin.
Yeah.
Because everyone was doing it. But I learned how to deal with people and how to negotiate. And also what I learned was how to keep a promise. That's so important. If you put your name on something,
Got to get it done.
you
Got
have
over
to
the line,
deliver.
man.
Even if you lose money, even if you kill yourself inside, if you say to someone, I'm going to do it, and you don't do it, you'll never get a chance to prove them right
100%,
again.
yeah.
You know, so it's really important. So I used to go to Camden Town. I used to go to, what's that thing by Hyde Park? Queensway, all the Strand, all the touristy areas. I used to knock on doors, right? Because this is before social media was really popping. I used to go and knock on doors and say, hi, I'm Freddie. This is what I do. Give me a chance. A lot of people didn't want to give me a chance.
Yeah.
And then I started working with the people that had all the little kiosks on Oxford Street. And I was making a loss, but it was a foot in the door. And then I built relationships. And then slowly, after about 6 months, I actually started to make some money.
Yeah.
Right? And I reinvested that money back into the business. But I started my business in a shed on a farm, right? And it was near my mum's house. And I was paying £250 a month rent with £20 help for the electric, right? And it was a nightmare trying to make that money. It really was. And I'd drive to go and see all my customers. I'd go and drive because I wanted to put a face to the name.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Freddie, to, build that relationship. And it worked, Then, when I was 24, an opportunity came up to get a bigger place. And I thought, you know what? Let's do it, right? Then I was middlemaning embroidery work. So originally I was a printer. Now I do embroidery, really. Started middlemaning embroidery. Somebody let me down and it made me look really bad. And I thought, do you know what? How am I going to stop this? Right? I've never embroidered before, but I understood the concept. So I thought, do you know what?
Get my own machine.
Let's do it, right? But I can't run the machine, so I've got to find someone. So now I'm going from a one-man band to now having staff. That was, if someone was to say to me, what was the biggest jump throughout your whole business to where you are now? What was that biggest crucial part? And it was going from a one-man band to then having a member of staff.
Yeah.
Because it makes things so much easier with time, but also you've got the responsibility of that staff.
Yeah, you've got to trust them.
I can remember that first year that I had the embroidery, I made such a loss because I had to pay for the staff.
Yeah.
But the story I was going to was someone kept letting me down. So I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
So the analogy in life is if you're not getting it from somewhere or something isn't working, change it and do it yourself.
Figure it out.
Don't always wait for other people to come and give you the opportunities. Create the opportunities.
yourself.
But I understand that maybe not everyone's got that confidence.
Yeah, I think so. And also, I don't think it's the confidence. I think it's the fear. I think a lot of people have
What's
fear.
fear?
But I'm with you. But the majority of people, or some people, they have the fear of the no and the rejection. And I think when you've grown up in a space where it's just normal. Like you are going to get rejected. People are going to say no. If you can get over that hurdle, then you're going to get the yes and things will start to work out. But that initial fear sometimes puts people in a space of not trying.
Yeah, it puts their back up against the wall.
Yeah.
But if you stay there all your life, you're never going to get anywhere.
And yeah, absolutely not.
You know, and I see it, I'm going to be honest, I see people that had great opportunities and because they maybe thought they weren't good enough or they thought they weren't going to succeed, they didn't do it. Do you want to know the secret? I've failed so many times.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm with you.
I have failed and I've been in situations where I thought there's no way of getting out of this. really, when the shit hits the fan, you know. But it's about making a plan, and you know, it sounds corny, but each day at a time, and just working towards, and you're just chipping away, and then all of a sudden, what happens is the whole wall falls down, which is a good thing, you know. And then you've broken that wall between the next thing you want to do, but you've got to have something not right in your head to do
Delusion.
this. Yes.
Do you know what?
100%.
Like, the thing is, in the beginning of the conversation, I said, you're very inspiring. I find you extremely inspiring. Like,
Thank you.
When I watch you work and I watch you talk about what you love doing, there is an element of delusion.
Yeah, 100%.
But there is this overwhelming confidence of, I'm doing this and I'm going to see it all the way to the end until the wheels fall off. And I think in life, we don't meet many people that are really, really, honestly willing to see it till the wheels fall off. They're willing to see it a part of the way, but most people want to jump out the car as soon as they see it about to crash. Very few stay in the wreckage and get out and say, right, we're going again. And you're one of those people. And I've seen you grow from strength to strength and do amazing things. And you do have the luxury of having a really great story about your granddad and your dad and everything that they do. But what you do is you do it by yourself.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I took what I learnt from there and then I implemented it. My dad's got a big print shop, right? And what I should have done was just kept my mouth shut, right? Yes, no problem, 3 bags full set, all of that. I can't do that.
Can't do that.
I
It's not your way.
That is not, that's not how I was brought up, right? So I went the right reverse wrong way, right? And it took me a massive way, but then, you know, I started my first business in 2015, right? So, you know, 11 years later now, I'm at the point now where I can say, do you know what? It might have taken me a long time to get there, but I've done it.
Yep.
I've done it, but I have sacrificed everything to get
And you've done all the moving parts.
Yeah,
And
I
I
do it
feel
all.
like sometimes people want the end bit
Like,
without...
you've got to learn the bottom.
because you understand it all.
Got to go bottom and learn every single
single
process. So when someone asks you, how does that work?
You know the
can
answer.
explain, and it's easy.
Yeah.
And also, what you'll find is people that are in management, right? If they haven't come from the bottom, they don't know how to get around things when it goes wrong.
100%.
And if you know, as soon as something happens, how to get, you're laughing.
Good to go.
That is, most of it is just learning how to get around issues. You can't stop issues. Especially when you work with other people.
Yeah, and you're service-based.
There's always going to be different moving parts.
There's something that you said on the phone one time, and I remember you said, I think we was doing something for someone, I can't remember who it was, and you said, was everything all right? Did you hear anything back? And I said, oh no, I didn't hear. And you said, yeah, no news,
is
good
good
news.
news.
And that,
100%.
in the printing world,
100%.
when you're doing T-shirts or anything like that, as soon as the phone rings, it's like you pack,
That's it, you worry.
You worry.
Because you can do 100 good jobs.
and there's one. There is
that's your
one.
name.
And
That's
that
your
is your
name.
name gone tarnished. Good to
100%,
go.
100%.
Honestly, it's
And there's
so
other
true.
people in this industry.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong,
That's-
it's not hard to go and find a print shop. It's hard to find a reliable print shop, you know, and that is why we've got such a good name and we've built this business to where it is now, you know. But going from, you know, the young greenhorn boy in the shed on the farm to where I am now, when I think back at all the processes that I had to learn, it was quite a steep learning curve. And I still learn today.
Still learn today.
You know, and there's still things that pop up, but main thing is learning how to communicate.
Okay.
That is number one. I haven't got any GCSEs. I haven't got any A-levels. I didn't go to university. I didn't do any of that stuff. But I got in early and I grafted.
You grafted,
There is no special recipe to succeed except get in, be the first one in, work your nuts off and be the last one
Time
out.
to leave. It's the truth.
But it takes, it's the saying, it takes 20 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah, no, it does. There's no such thing. Like this overnight success thing it's a myth. And I think especially now with the digital age and the social media, it looks like things can just pop out in 24 hours and no one sees the sleepless nights and the tears and as you said, the empty bank account and all the things.
Overdrawn bank accounts.
Overdrawn, the closed bank account. Like you log in and hey, where's my account gone? Like there's so many things that happen.
Creditors banging on the door, bailiffs banging on the door.
Yeah, it is. It's an extreme sport. It's an extreme sport.
It makes it fun.
It does make it fun. It does. And it
does.
makes it exhilarating.
Do you know what it is, right? It's such a buzz.
Yeah.
There is nothing better in this world than fighting through something that you think you're going to die at.
Come out the other end.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's so true.
Now, some people might do that for the wrong reasons, though. You know, like, oh, I need to prove this person wrong. Don't ever do anything to prove anything from apart from yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I got to prove this person. That's no good. Do it for yourself.
You have to do it for yourself.
Yeah. Do it for your family and your kids.
It's so true.
But also, I want to go back to my son, right? I want my son to look at me and understand that, you know, you don't have to be academic.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about if...
The traditional route, yeah.
The A students work for the B students and the C students own the buildings.
Yeah.
Right? People don't understand that analogy.
It's crazy,
right?
but it's the truth.
If you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or an accountant, yeah, you need your university, you need your degrees. That's really important, right? If you want to be your own boss, you have to have life skills.
Yeah, you do.
That is the most important thing, is learning about life, learning how to communicate and getting your point across.
Yeah.
It's so important. That
No,
is
it's so
number one.
true. Well, Kizzy, as you know, is the boss of my house, and she knows I'm doing the podcast.
Big up,
She's
Kizzy.
got a question that she wants me to ask all the parents.
Okay.
And her question is, what is your most favourite thing to do with your child? All children, but it's child for you. What's your favourite thing?
Nothing. Now,
The chill.
that is what it is, right? I can take my son anywhere I want. We can go and do whatever he likes, whatever that may be. But my favourite thing, and I think his favourite thing, is not having a plan and winging it. Now, that might look like we're playing Fortnite for 8 hours and having pizza, right? Yeah. And that's amazing, you know? When you can go and do anything that you want, sometimes that's not the fun thing to do. Something just walking up the park, right? So to Kizzy, the answer to your question is nothing, but sometimes that can be the best.
Yeah.
You know? Just being there. I didn't really spend a lot of time with my dad like that when I was a kid. Going back, if I could change that, I probably would.
out a bit more.
But that might have not been my fault. You know, there's two people involved in that, right? But I'm making sure that my little boy can say, yeah, we spent loads of time
together.
You know, that's
And I
so
think
important.
ultimately that's what kids want.
Yeah.
And I think like we can spend a lifetime.
That's what I wanted as a little kid, was time.
Yeah, and I feel like they just want you to be looking at them and engaged with what they want to do, not the other way around.
Of course.
Which sometimes, as with me especially, I'm definitely a drag Kizzy along to what I'm doing, and she's definitely no. When
She's learning though.
Yeah, she does.
You know, she's learning, and I love Kizzy. she is going to be a superstar, and I said that from day one.
Yeah, you do.
She's very outspoken. She knows what she wants, but with a mum like you, what do you expect?
Yeah, well, it's true. And with an environment like what she has, because she's around all my peers and she learns a little bit of something from absolutely everybody. The day we took the kids to, I think it was Hobble Down or something like that.
Yeah,
and I said, get your purse out, go and buy Lenny a marshmallow. And she looked at me and said, with my money, go buy Lenny marshmallow. Learn to spend your money.
I remember that, over the fire thing.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing, but I got to say, you're a great mum. You know
I
that.
appreciate that, Fred.
You're a great mum, and that rubs off on your kids.
I appreciate
it. Really, really does. And Kizzy just asks so many questions, and is very knowledgeable as well because she wants to learn.
Yeah, she
That's important as well. Some kids, they're very disconnected.
Yeah.
Right? They're all on the screens. I see it with my son sometimes.
Yeah.
He just wants to play the game.
But even with her as well, and this is a common thing that parents are talking about at the moment, is that how do you control the amount of device time that your children have? And Kizzy got a 3D printer for Christmas, and there's a software called Tinkercad that you use to teach you how to design.
Yeah.
And but when we're both learning in it, I'm struggling to learn this software, and I see her, but it looks like a cross between Minecraft and Roblox, the way that it's teaching you, because it's like you're getting under the image and above. And she's a so it's like to eliminate her from using the Roblox and it's like it kind of can have a little
negative effect.
Yeah, so it's like
it's the norm now.
It's the norm,
and it's going to be the norm.
and it's going to get
But I will say this: you see, us as adults. Do we make a conscious effort to keep an eye on our screen time?
I agree with you. Yeah.
Do you want to know what my screen time is on my phone a day?
Go on.
Between 13 and 14 hours a day. I'm on my phone.
It's crazy.
Constant.
I know, and it's true. And if there's not a episode of Real Housewives that I have not seen, so you're right. It is the truth. It is the truth.
know?
For me, I just feel like there's like the devices are not the problem. It's how much time they don't have outside of the devices. So it's like, yeah, you can have your device, but we are doing shit in the real world as well. Do you know what I mean? And then there is a time where I'm like, do you know what? Bog off, because
You need that.
I need a minute.
It's a great tool.
But
I will say this, moving out into the suburbs,
Yeah, it helps.
there's more things to do
Yeah.
outside of the screens.
Yeah.
You know, we've got like where we've got a ski slope, an indoor ski slope. We've got rock climbing, skate parks, all of this. And you'll find like an empty field. And you'll say, go and dinosaur hunt.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
used to
do
dinosaur
something.
hunt.
Yeah, no, it's true.
We used to go to abandoned buildings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, and mad stuff in it, like, and find things to do.
Yeah.
You know? And I can remember getting my first black and white phone when I was like 10, playing Snake.
Yeah.
We thought we were the bee's knees.
Cutting edge.
You know? But sadly, I want to say that I feel that kind of innocence has left society now, where we used to knock on people's doors. You don't need to knock on anyone's doors now, you can send a text.
Yeah.
It kind of takes the fun out of it. Oh, is he going to be there? Is he not?
Not
Oh,
gonna
go
be
and
there.
check.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
true.
But I guess our kids, when they get to our age,
They'll say the same
they say
thing.
the same thing.
100 million
Like
percent.
our parents said
say
the same thing. You know?
No, it's true.
Mum, I grew up with no shoes on.
Yeah,
Like, what?
yeah. She was like, no, it's true. My mum would agree.
Don't.
She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't, you know? Well, we used to go to the dance and the disco and all that, and we used to go raving.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
true. It's just a little bit different.
It's
each and every
funny,
time.
isn't it?
Okay, so what is your one piece of advice you'd give to somebody that is a newly found father? They want to start their own business and they're not sure of if they're going to survive, you know, because they've got a mouth to feed. Like, what is the advice?
There's a few variables you just put in there, right? New business, new father, right? Prioritise your time to what is going to get you to the next level. Now, that's not just in business, that's also relationships. I went the wrong way. I was working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And in the back of my head, I was doing that for the right reason.
Yeah.
And I will never say that I did the wrong thing, but I maybe went the wrong way around it. I didn't give my son and that scenario as much as I could have. But on the flip side, I had the pressure of paying bills, trying to sort out, trying to pay for everything. So my advice would be prioritise your time, where let's say Monday to Friday, 8 till 6, that is business, right? And other things can come into that, don't get me wrong, but that is business. And then when you get home, turn the phone off.
Yeah.
Turn the phone off. Learn to disconnect. I can never disconnect.
Yeah.
It consumes me. You know?
But I feel like that's just your creative genius.
That
Sorry,
is.
I'm not going to take that as a negative. I think that's your creative genius, and I think the way around that is you just do the opposite. You just plug in the time for your bird, and you plug in the time for your kid. Because Freddie, we're very, very similar. And at the end of the day, you cannot escape the fact that you love what you do. Okay,
This is my life.
and because you love what you do, that means it's going to pour into your household. It's going to pour into your son. It's going to pour into everyone that's around you. Because we're going to get the best of you when you're at your happiest.
You're right.
You know, and that is just the end of it.
I tell people I don't work. This is my lifestyle.
100%.
Right? And I'm really lucky that I enjoy what I do. So, going back to your question, right? Prioritise what's important to you to get you to the next stages in your relationships and your business.
Yeah.
Now, for some people, the business might come first, right? Let's be honest, without money, you can't do a lot, right? But without love, you're never going to enjoy the money. So it's getting it to that point, right? You're never going to get the balance 100%, right? Or 50-50. But what you can do is, with a bad day, you can outweigh this, outweigh this side, and a good day, you can outweigh this side. So just enjoy it, embrace it, but learn how to prioritise. That's so important.
I think that's a great tip, and that is something that is really difficult to do. But if you can master it, it's going to make life.
Second to that, anything that you do, you put 1,000% in.
Yeah.
You have to go in. You've got to be a little bit deluded. Any new business deal that I'm doing, I am willing to do my bollocks to prove the point to get the job. I'm willing to lose everything. Now, that can be risky, but when you believe in yourself and you believe in your abilities, you're going to get it. You're going to get that over the line every time. You know?
That is true.
It's learning, you know, and as you as different experiences, you're going to take little parts on those experiences. So, right, I can change that to make sure that doesn't happen again. So it's also analysing as well. That's another big thing, is going back to situations and being like, okay, that maybe wasn't a good idea.
And tweaking it and learning from it.
I've said terrible things in business meetings that I probably shouldn't have said, you know? So, but it resonates with certain people. Like, I've been in boardrooms, so I don't wear a suit, okay? I'm very relaxed, I've got tattoos, I say bad things, and I go into these rooms with these corporate giants, and we leave that meeting with them trusting me because they see that I'm normal.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to please them, I'm trying to please myself, right? But naturally, you become very easy to deal with when you believe in your own abilities.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, I just need to go and check that. I just need to, no, I've got the answer straight away. I know.
You have a line that you say, and I don't know if you know the line that you say, but
What's the
you
line?
say, listen, get the job done.
That's it.
Yeah. You say it all the time. It's like, listen, we just get the job done.
That's it.
And I think
we're
that
going to mess about.
You're not going to mess about. And I think when you talk with that level of confidence, they know you're going to get the job done.
Procrastination, mate, you're never going to get anything done.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, if you've got to just go straight down the line, you know? But not everyone's like that, you know? But I was a shy kid, right? And, you know, bullies and all of that, but you learn to grow.
Yeah, but I think those are the things that put you instead to become who you're meant to become. Because without it...
Of course.
You know?
Of course. And, you know, I'm lucky that my family, especially my mum is just something else, you know? And as I get older, I appreciate my mum even more. And my nan, I'm still lucky. I've got my 87-year-old nan.
I love that.
She drives me up the wall, but she's amazing. I'm lucky. I've got a great girlfriend, Hannah. She is 10 out of 10. You know, I've got my son. It's going well. But I've had to go through hard times and a lot of problems to get to where I am now, you know. But I'm lucky that work was almost my remedy for my bad days. Where I just get my head stuck into it and I have a new idea. This is how I've always run my business. I'll lay in bed, right, and I'll have an idea. Guess what happens? That idea now becomes reality. I wake up the next day and I go, right, how are we going to do it? So it's envisioning things and seeing them finished, whether that's, what's the word?
Manifestation.
But it is just get it done.
It is.
Have the idea and execute and don't stop.
Well, Freddie, listen, talking to you today has been amazing. I could talk to you all
me.
day. I will definitely have you back at some time in the future to see how you're getting on and how you've raised the bar. But yeah, you're absolutely amazing and you're very, very inspiring. Never, ever forget that.
Thank you. Thank you, Princess.
Jeez, first fist pump of the day.
Oi, oi.
Listen, that was The Playbook by Trybe, hosted by Naya. And I'm telling you, if you didn't get some gems from that, you're listening to the wrong podcast. I'm going to put all the print information in the, you know, in all the link below and all that stuff. So if you are someone that is interested in getting prints done, it has to be of a high volume. Sorry, Fred. Then please reach out to Freddie. He is the guy. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and God bless.
Thanks, guys.
The Parent Playbook.